These are challenging times for the 25-year-old Dallas captain, whose team is fighting for traction and still looking to make a late-season statement. And like Jamie Benn and his Stars, Philadelphia and their captain Claude Giroux were in the playoffs last spring, but find themselves chasing from the outside. Two of the NHL's elite young captains tonight. After a split in Florida, this 5-game Eastern sojourn continues tonight. Stage 2 begins in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, inside the Wells Fargo Center against the Philadelphia Flyers. Tyler Seguin back for his second straight game. These two put on quite a show in October at the American Airlines Center. We'll see what brews here in Philly tonight. Hi, welcome to Dallas Stars Hockey. Along with Darryl Ray, I'm Ralph Strangis. Stars won only 3 games when they were missing Tyler Seguin for a stretch of 10. They got him back, Razor, in Tampa. They didn't win, but they saw what they were missing.
He came back actually better than when he left the Stars lineup. When he left the Stars lineup, he wasn't scoring goals. He looked a tad bit frustrated. In Tampa Bay, it looked like he was shot out of a cannon. Scored almost immediately on the power play. That blast of a rolling puck. No chance for Vasilevsky. Added a second with that wicked release that he has in tight. He was well on his way to a hat trick. That was half the offense in the game for the Stars in the eventual 5-4 loss. And he has absolutely destroyed Flyer net mining in his young career. 8 goals in 13 games. He has 10 points in just the 3 games that he's played as a Dallas Star against the Philadelphia Flyers. It'd be a good night for Seguin and the Stars leaders to truly lead the way.
Their Eastern counterpart, the Philadelphia Flyers, going through a similar problem this year. They thought they'd be back in the postseason. They're not. However, it's their top guys lately that haven't really been producing, or a couple of them anyway.
Well, a lot of their top elite players are not engaged right now, and it's killing them in their pursuit of a playoff spot. Their top 2 offensive players haven't done much since the All-Star break, when they were right there neck and neck with Seguin as far as the scoring race is concerned. Giroux and Voracek combined for just 5 goals, one of those into an empty net. So not a lot going on in the last close to 20 games for them. The guy to keep an eye on tonight, guy I love watching play, is Big Wayne Simmonds, who is scoring for them right now. He leads them in just about every goal category that you can muster. Leads them overall in goals. He can make room for himself. He's terrific on the forecheck. He's fantastic in front of the net on the power play, and they have a wicked one. He leads them in power play goals with 13. He's amongst the NHL leaders with that. A half a dozen game-winning goals, too, so when it's on the line, he's clutch. And if you go to shootouts, he's basically unstoppable. He scored on 4 of 5, so a bit banged up and missing some people. We'll see whether the Stars can keep Simmonds and the Flyers at bay tonight.
And for the Dallas Stars, the focal point once more, Kari Lehtonen takes the net. We'll see what kind of a night we've got. We'll put him in the spotlight when we come back to Philly. Second and final meeting. Stars rarely, by rarely I mean almost never, win here, and lost 6-5 in Dallas tonight. Spotlight delivered by Chicken Express, Razor.
Well, the spotlight remains white hot on the Stars goaltending situation, and in particular the #1 man, Kari Lehtonen. This is his first action since getting pulled in Florida. Second time in the last 5 games for that. It would seem that everything has just been black cloud around Big Kari, but he's had his moments throughout the year. He needs to refine that. Just move on. Stop thinking. Just play. It's there. We've certainly seen it throughout the year. Be a good night for him to dial it up and find his form. He's never beaten the Flyers in his career, so he's either due or the guys in orange just flat out have the Big Fins number 0, 10, and 3 lifetime. Get off the schneid!
Stars will be looking to do that tonight. They're in the city of brotherly love against the Philadelphia Flyers. We'll drop the puck next. Dallas Stars hockey on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Ford. It's Ford Truck Month at your best in Texas Ford dealer. Visit TexasFord.com for details. And by Southwest Airlines, book your low fare now at Southwest.com. Dallas Stars and the Philadelphia Flyers from Wells Fargo Center tonight. We told you about Kari Lehtinen. Here's Steve Mason,
who got the hook partway through the Flyers' 6-5 overtime win in Dallas. He's posted just 13 wins in 40 games despite excellent stats in both goals against average and save percentage.
Tyler Seguin goes back to the middle tonight. Jamie Benn on his left and Patrick Eaves on his right. John Klingberg back in the lineup. He's got the puck now, partnered with Alex Goligoski. We have some lineup things to tell you about in just a moment, but play is underway in the Dallas zone. That's Simmons. Couturier is right in front of the net. Mark Streit worked it over to Schultz. Schultz shot it. That was blocked in front. Couturier twisting away from Klingberg. Back of the net. Pivoting. Fired. Blocked in front, and Seguin spit it to the boards. Eaves goes rink wide to center ice. Goligoski tries to jump up against Streit, who pierced it back toward the Dallas line. Both teams looking to change. Stars trying to cash in. Seguin goes drifting toward Mason, who plays it off. Back of the net, it's Carlo Koliakovo turning it over. Sevier kicks it in deep and back to Koliakovo. He's partnered with Luke Schenn, the defenseman. Got a brother named Braden on the team, too. That's Voracek moving in. Braden cutting after the puck. He's number 10. Luke 22 at the line. Wristing it. Save Lehtinen shot it out with the pad. That's Voracek. Eager to get that puck back to the line. Luke Schenn shooting, scores! Lehtinen screen in front, and that puck dropped over his shoulder as he dropped. It's 1-0 Philadelphia.
Well, the big stay-at-home defenseman delays at the blue line for a second when he gets it back. Waits for a seam to open up. Little delay. Vern Fittler goes through that up top. They had their top line on the ice. Good net presence, which you look for. Schenn was standing. It was Schenn to Schenn on that one, or both involved anyway. The two brothers. And a bewildered Kari Lehtinen serves up the first goal of the game here tonight.
If it's Luke's, it's Koliakovo and Voracek with the assist. It's 1-0 nonetheless, 1:13 into the first period. A long shot mystifying Kari Lehtinen, and there's Mason putting the clamps on a puck with Antoine Roussel lurking.
Well, not the way Lindy Ruff would expect to start this one here tonight. He's got more issues than just that, though. You alluded to it. He Stars without defenseman Jason Demers, who's sick. Came over to the rink this morning and then couldn't go. They sent him back to the hotel. He can't go here tonight. And Cody Eakin has been scratched tonight for disciplinary reasons from the team. So that doesn't help.
Here's Ales Hemsky putting it in on goal, and Mason cleans it up as well.
So what that creates, though, from a Stars perspective is some issues. None more concerning than having to dress 4 rookie defensemen in the game here tonight. I asked James Patrick, who looks after the Stars decor, when I finished up the interview with Colton Sevier on the bench, and I said, when's the last time you had 4 rookie defensemen in the lineup? He said, well, in preseason. I think they were in Kansas City, and they won the game, he said. A little different when you're in the Flyers' house late in the season. You got to go with what you have, though.
You bet. Off the face-off, Flyers take off with the puck. Ronaldo down the wing. From the board, shot it. Lehtinen kicks that aside. White firing. And Stars are able to gather that puck in front. Came off. And now it's McKenzie on his way deep into the zone against former star Nick Grossman. Klingberg centered it. Had Goligoski drifting in, but he ripped it behind him, and he'll go give chase. Again, the Stars 1-1 in Florida. Here's a turnover, shot by Ronaldo, and a save from Lehtinen. A penalty coming up here against the Flyers.
Ronaldo's going to go. Took a run at Klingberg in behind the net.
That's pretty much his MO. 92 penalty minutes, 142 hits, and 2 points, both assists. He'll sit again on the delayed call. It's Klingberg towards Seguin at center. Missed the puck, and here's the whistle.
So they get a wicked chance off their forecheck. Kari Lehtinen with a good stop on that one. The initial hit that forced that booming shot from the wing, and then the follow-up with the penalty in behind. So Stars power play, if there's something that is a true bright spot for them recently, I mean, they've moved up into the top half or just on the outskirts of the top half of the league, and they lead the National Hockey League in power play opportunities, so they get on the job enough.
First power play of this game then for the Stars. They're third on the road this season too, over 22%. Tyler Seguin with Ben in front of the net. Eaves between the circles. Eaves lost the puck, dives after it, and Bellemare will pick it up. Van de Velde driving to the net. Bellemare cutting, shooting, Lehtinen the stop. Bellemare will hand it back. Schultz passes it over, and the Flyers play keep away here. And Schultz will shoot it down the ice.
Bellemare tried to draw a call on Tyler Seguin. He just went over next to him, got a little bit of contact and fell down. Fans here like to help the referees. They have for decades.
Yes. It's a tradition here. McDonald works this ahead. Reed spins to find the puck, moving in short-handed, and his pass goes across to Couturier.
Well, the Stars are probably counting their blessings that Reed decided to pass on that one. He's a right shot on the left-hand side. He had a great look. That's back-to-back 2-on-1s the Stars gave up on their power play here, so this has not started well in the city of brotherly love.
Still almost half a power play to go, and Goligoski took a look. Passes it forward to Fiddler. He'll take the line, shot it around the boards. Jordy Ben trying to get over on Couturier, and that's wedged ahead. White moving in on his backhand, stops in his tracks. Looks for options, and then rags it back to center again. Raffle tried to bust in alone, and finally the Stars are able to take the puck away from the Austrian.
Stars went puck hunting on him. He was able to dangle in there.
Now he's in pressuring. They get Ronaldo back in 15 seconds. Hemsky pivots away from White, takes the line, shot it in, no problem for Mason.
Well, the Flyers have been pretty crisp to start the game from their perspective. Their head coach, Craig Berube, has seen his team's playoff aspirations all but evaporate with its inability to win against non-playoff bound teams in the Eastern Conference. Been maddeningly inconsistent for them. His focus against the Stars doesn't change from what they had on the docket back in early October. 5-man back check and pressure against the Stars' 4-man attack.
Seguin shot it. That one's blocked on its way to the net. Good face-off win and a dandy setup for Seguin. Klingberg holds the puck. Gave it to Seguin. Passing over to Nemeth. Chipped it down low. The Flyers are back at full strength. Ben back of the net. He's shoved by Ronaldo, who's back and eager to get into things once more. Eaves overskates the puck. Klingberg kept it in, twisting it to Eaves. Over to Nemeth. He shoots it. That's blocked in front, and Ronaldo's there. Nemeth tying up his man along the far side. Ben reaching in to try and pick it away. Schultz comes ahead to Giroux. And from center ice, threw it in wide of the Dallas net on the deflection. Braden Schenn in check. They gave the goal to Braden from Luke, so he must have tipped it right in front of Kari Lehtinen, or so they're ruling. Klingberg up ahead to the line. Koliakovo kept it in, shot it wide. Nemeth partnered with Klingberg here. Two young Swedes. Back of the net. It's Braden Schenn. Voracek out to the line. Streit pulls it down. Shot it just wide. Koliakovo, a shot, save Lehtinen.
Schenn with the deflection again in front.
They go out to Streit. He leads their blue line in scoring. Whip it back. Braden Schenn has it back of the net. Out to Voracek. Seguin breaks it up finally. And the Stars Garbutt able to drive to center ice and shoot it in off Streit, and then jockey past him for a drive. Mason makes the stop. Back out to Alexiak, who fires it. That's tipped. Back of the net, Fiddler trying to pick it off the end. Back of the net, and Fiddler burrowing in with Streit. Shoved him off. Couturier flips it out to center ice, and Alexiak back to get it for Dallas. Slung on in, Roussel with a step backhand shot save in the follow-up. He was tied up by McDonald after beating Koliakovo.
Just turned the burners on and blew past Koliakovo to walk in and test the Flyer netminder. Speed, that's what the Stars have to go with. Get their legs moving. Pester this Flyer decor.
Their principal asset. McDonald up the middle, icing against Philadelphia.
Well, they generated exactly what they wanted in the dying seconds of that power play opportunity with a face-off win and Tyler Seguin in the tail gunner position. Win it back, boom. The gutty block that time by Schenn in the low slot. And then down at the other end, there's the drive-by. Everybody had that one defended well. Roussel around the corner, full gallop.
Back to play in the Flyer zone. McKenzie leaned on Ritchie, McKenzie, and Sean Horcoff. Horcoff's got the kids again. That's Ritchie pivoting, threw it in front. McKenzie in check by McDonald, and out comes Reed to center ice. Flyers want to change off the icing. They'll get it here. Philadelphia 28 wins and 69 points. They're 5th in the Metropolitan Division. They're 11th in the East. They're 7 points out. Bellemare handing it off. Vinny Lecavalier back in the lineup, pitched it in front, and Bellemare shot it wide. Klingberg handling him in front of the net. Ritchie was dumped, got up to throw it through the middle. And that's Lecavalier. Bellemare to Van de Velde. Going into the corner. Klingberg comes away with the puck, only to see it kicked off Lecavalier's skate. Goes deep, Lecavalier defers. Braden Schenn shot, or Luke Schenn shot, blocked in front by Lettinen. And out of the pile, Eaves falls, but Seguin takes off with it. Seguin and Benn to the line. Seguin pushing it to the wall for Benn. Works it in deep, stays with it. Benn back of the net to Seguin. A shot that's blocked in front by Koliakovo.
Well, that's a match the Stars would like to get in the game. Luke Schenn, who's got real slow boots, and have Seguin or Benn try to work against him. Jamie Benn walked right through him.
Penalty coming up against the Stars. It's a delayed call, so Mason goes to the bench. Extra attacker is on, and Giroux hands it back. Flyers up 1-0. Koliakovo to center, goes rink wide, and Nemeth will go get it. And so the Philadelphia Flyers, Schenn brothers combine. Braden from Luke. And it's 1-0.
Seaver finds himself in hot water. There is minor penalty for high sticking. I don't think that he high sticked Ryan White as high as Ryan White sold it. He sold it as if he took it right across the bridge of the nose. He got it across the neck. It was up a little bit high. You don't want to load this power play very often. It's wicked. Voracek, Giroux, and Simmons are their main cogs with it. Simmons at the front of the net. Giroux and Voracek both attack off the flanks.
Stars power play trending upward. 12 of their last 13. They've killed the last 5 games.
I think the Flyers are susceptible to shorthanded goals too, and the Stars are the best in the league at it.
They've given up 6. The Stars have scored 9. Strike from the line to Giroux. Simmons lingering in front. That's Voracek spitting it back of the net. They reset it to Strike. Passing to Giroux. Shooting it. Tipped by Simmons. Save Lettinen. And Fiddler able to take it away from a diving Braden Schenn, but he shot it into the bench.
Well, good puck movement by the Flyers to work both sides and spread the Stars a little bit. And then ultimately it's just wire it to the net where Simmons is. And if he doesn't deflect it in, somebody comes in there and picks up the garbage. Strikes the top guy, works to the middle. You can see they've got double presence in front. Schenn, who's already scored in the game, is sort of that middle release guy in the high slot. They got a lot of points of danger.
Giroux's great face-off man, too. He wins another one here. Now he has the puck on the half wall with Simmons standing between him and Kari Lettinen. Out to Streit. Takes the line. Got it back from Giroux. Works it over to Voracek. In front. Braden Schenn's tip went wide.
The high tip.
They were looking for it. They got it. Now Streit pumped it in. Save Lettinen. Braden Schenn back of the net. Giroux in the corner. They respect him. They give him some room. He goes out to Streit to Voracek. A shot. That's blocked by Jokipaka out of the zone.
That's one thing they really don't have much of with this power play setup is a one-timer threat. Saw it there. Beautifully blocked by Jokipaka.
Simmons goes back out to the line as the Flyers come back into the Dallas zone.
Say it went out? or play with a high stick. So it's going to come all the way back down. If you play a puck with your stick above your shoulders on a power play, the faceoff goes all the way back down into your zone. They looked like they were really tugging at the buttons of the Stars penalty kill with their top unit out there. You have Simmons at the net. Number 10 is Schenn, and they just look for this. Screen in front. There's the block by Jokipaka earlier. Schenn with a beautiful little tip in front. Jyrki Jokipaka had a rough one in Tampa Bay. Young guys are going to have that every now and then. I like the fact that the kid seems to be able to overcome it. I think he does anyway. He doesn't talk a lot.
We wouldn't know.
We have to just go with body language and how he plays the next shift in the next game.
And that nice little grin. 45 blocks for Jokipaka in 36 games this season, learning the ropes. Flyers second unit out here. Reed whips it around the boards. Koliakovo passes it off to Couturier. Cavalier standing in the near circle. Out to the line, Koliakovo. Couturier took a look. Back out to Koliakovo, to McDonald on the hinge. And Lecavalier centering feed is blocked. Couturier back out to Koliakovo. 15 left on the power play. McDonald. Here's Couturier walking in, shot it, pad stop. Lecavalier looking for it. Lettinen finds it.
Carr's made some good saves since giving up the original one, and a little aftermath from that last one right in front. Lecavalier's really had a forgettable season, really his tenure with the Flyers since signing with them as a free agent. Montreal Canadiens really wanted him, elected to come here, and it has not worked out very well for the former Tampa Bay Lightning captain. He's been a healthy scratch lately. He's fourth liner when he does play. He's played out of position a lot. It's a tough league nowadays if you can't really move. You know, if you even lose a quarter of a step, it just seems like you lose a lot of your ability to do what you used to be able to do. It's so quick now.
It's a guy who once put 5 straight 30-goal campaigns together. Lecavalier, now it's Ben exiting. Passing to Spezza on the wing. Stars are in. They're back at full strength. And Oligoski protected. Spezza shot it. Saved Mason. Rebound. Ben couldn't get it off. Has it back of the net. Mason was flailing. Now he centers it. Sagan, a shot. That's blocked. It doesn't get through. Ben firing. Ricochets to the line. Oleksiak can't keep it. He lost a step, but he recovers at center ice.
Pays to be 6'7" every now and then.
Oh, boy. Voracek. Pierre-Edouard Bellemare in the corner. Chris Vandevelde setting up back of the net. Flyers work it out to the line, and the shot from Brayden Schenn, or Luke Schenn, pardon me, goes off the end boards and back into Lettinen. Get my Schenn straight. Ben's are easy. I see them every night. Midway through the first, it's 1-0 Philadelphia.
Flyers scored in the first minute. Stars trail this one 1-0, 11 minutes in. As you enjoy a cold one tonight, remember that Miller Time is coming up later in the game, brought to you by Pilsner Brewed Miller Lite. Jamie Benn and company close, tail into that penalty kill. Spezza and Ben out on the ice. He jumps the route. Jamie Benn does. They go to work, and then it was just a pure calamity at the net. Goligoski bears through. Ben goes to the front of the net. They kept him at bay.
Back to play. The puck launched toward the Flyers line. Brett Ritchie. Checked by Koliakovo. Luke Schenn pumped along the boards by Brett Ritchie. Horkoff takes a tumble. He goes in after the puck. Ronaldo goes after him again. White lifting it out to center ice. Ronaldo and Raffl trying to pick it off at the line. Stars Jordie Benn stepping up, and Dallas is on the attack. Ritchie in a shot. He scores! He knows what to do when he's got it there, and it's 1-1.
Well, these two young bucks on the wings team up on this one. You had two lines out there that like to bang the body a little bit. Ronaldo and White, along with Raffl in the middle for the Flyers. They go in pursuit up the ice. Stars in transition, though. Off the boards. Sweet little feed by McKenzie. Pure goal scorer's goal in tight. Mason never gets off the blocks. He's a silly sider. He catches with his right hand, and he beat him low on that glove hand to knot this game at 1.
Ritchie's 5th goal of the season. He's played in 21 games now from McKenzie and Jordie Benn.
You know, I've said it before, and with regular playing time, he didn't play the other night in Tampa Bay, but he and McKenzie, with a little bit of regular time and getting comfortable at this level, things have slowed down a little bit. I'd say, 3 weeks ago, Richie maybe hurries that shot. The save is made instead. He waited a tick of a second, found his spot, and beat the netminder off the pipe.
Roussel put it in deep. Hemsky looking for the puck, and it's Grossman. Had problems with injuries again. This puck hit a fallen Alex Hemsky. Comes right back to Grossman. He'll lug it over. Try and drop it back. Goligoski took it away. Klingberg back of the net. Hit by Braden Shen, but got it along. Hemsky dug it out of his skates. Pass to Spezza. He'll gather it in. One-on-one with Grossman. Spezza shot. Tried to go upstairs with it. Missed the net. Klingberg waved at the puck. Kept it in the zone. Goligoski cutting to the slot. Off the bench. Shot from Seviers. Blocked wide. Spezza firing. Pad stop Mason. Goligoski puts it back in the goal again. Garbage sandwiched. Grossman took him, and Braden Shen the puck ahead to center ice. Simmons creating a little bit of room for him. And Fiddler taking it away. Fiddler, Sevier, and Garbett on the move. Sevier to Garbett at the line. Garbett's pass. Strike sends out a play with 7:23 remaining in the opening period.
Where the Flyers were guilty of leaving the zone before they had possession. Got themselves in trouble. The Stars, no problem. And on that play in their own zone, just prior to that, Voracek, one of their top players, the guy that just put his helmet back on, hit his head on the ice when he went down. A couple of big collisions. Bam, you could see that head snap back, and his helmet, more than anything else, came up, rode up his chin. He went rather gingerly back to their bench.
He's their overall points leader with 66. They have two 60-point guys, too, like the Stars do with Sagan and Ben. Ben's a point ahead of Tyler. Koliakovo inside his own line. The league leader is John Tavares. He's got 72 points. Koliakovo takes the pass. Skipped in. Jokipaka back of the net. Koliakovo forcing the issue. And Alexiak digging it out. Ben wants to go. Left it for Sagan. He has Eaves to his right. Gave him the puck. Eaves wanted to return it to Sagan, but it's back of the net.
Boy, they generated an odd man rush with ease coming out of their own zone.
Klingberg shooting it. Save Mason.
They make a lot of teams look slow. They made the Tampa Bay Lightning at times in their own building look sluggish, and they're doing it again here in the first period in Philadelphia.
Klingberg shot it off Ben. Strike put himself into the boards, and now he's up for the pass from Simmons. To center ice is Streit. He'll shoot it in. Lettinen turns his stick over back of the net. Went to one knee and then got it out off the boards to center. That's our 12-7 Flyers. Couturier enters the zone. From his knees he shot it. That's blocked and swept out by McKenzie. To the line. Simmons kept it in. Couturier threw it in front. And Reed is dumped in front of the net.
Boy, nice play by Tyler Sagan to come all the way back, get his stick blade on that centering pass in front of the net, not a harm's way. Stars are playing a pretty good 200-foot game right now.
Flyers looking to go. Raffle from center ice, nudged it over the line. Goligoski puts it around for Klingberg. Nice little chip pass to Horcoff. Goes back across the ice to Alex Goligoski, and now rink wide to McKenzie. Brushed it on in. Horcoff checked from behind by Raffle.
These same two lines out here again. Stars scored the last time they opposed one another.
Klingberg has the puck. Fires it up to Ritchie. Makes the catch at center ice. Sliding it over, but he can't get past Koliakovo, and now the Stars chase. Here comes Giroux. Slamming on the brakes, waiting for help on the change. He fires it, blocked by Jokipaka. Stars clear. Roussel in a puck race. The Flyers had a man coming off the bench. Schultz putting it over. Jokipaka back for it. Under 5 minutes to play in the first period. A 1-1 game here. Wells Fargo Center. Hemsky breezing through center ice. And then he's hit by Braden Shen. Voracek finds the puck to the Dallas line. Turned it over to Alexiak. Stars are right back in. Hemsky as Spezza goes to the net. Hemsky to Spezza. McDonald had his stick.
Boy, that's good defending there. Stayed right with him. Read it beautifully.
Garbett got there quickly. Hemsky back of the goal. And then again, it's McDonald and Spezza. McDonald comes out of that pile with the puck. Whipped it ahead. Giroux in front of a changing Dallas bench trying to...
I don't know what he was looking at. Wow.
Either gave it away to the Stars. Here's Garbutt firing just wide. They had Sevier busting to the net. Jordy Ben whips it around the boards.
Stars are getting into a lot of loose pucks.
They got to that one too. Sevier and Nemeth. Here's Sevier back of the net. Luke Schenn trying to wipe him out. Van de Velde has the puck out to Bellemare at center ice, and Nemeth won't give him the line.
That's good gap. Because Fiddler's coming back, a forward, Nemeth reads that, stays right up on him, doesn't allow the Flyers the blue line.
Here comes Klingberg into the zone. Almost got away from all three Flyers. Ben will pick it up. Curling out toward the line, and the pass blocked by Bellemare. Sent ahead to Lecavalier. And the Flyers want to change.
Really, the worst the Stars have looked, the most loose they've been in this first period has been early on first shift, and then when they were on the power play.
They attack again. Sagan upended on his way to the puck in the slot. He's right back up to help back defensively. Simmons going after it. Alexiak tried to turn it outside. Couturier holding the zone. Back of the net. Couturier swinging out. Goes to the line. Schenn shot. Went off Reed. And nobody's sure where it is. Another one of those.
Pretty good battle by Goligoski to get to the front of the net. Seal that up. It might have went off of Alex and up into the netting in behind or the crowd. Flyers would like more of this. The barge around the net.
The Dallas Stars used their speed and Brett Ritchie's shot to even it at one late in the first.
4 rookie defensemen in the game tonight. Stars are going to need a lot of help from that end of the bench. That's where the forwards are. Vern Fiddler gives them an example of it. Hustles to come back up, tracks through the middle of the ice, allows Nemeth to stand up in his own blue line. It's a good look, good isolation of Fiddler, who was tremendous down the stretch last year when the Stars were trying to get into the playoffs. Been good again here lately. Then in front of the net, Goligoski multitasking, lunges toward Reed to make sure that that puck never got through from the point. The only goal the Flyers have scored came on a similar type play in the opening minute.
Face off to Kari Lettinen's left, and it'll be McKenzie, not Horkoff. Giroux wins it. Voracek tucking back of the net, trying an attack, and he slides it wide. Big pile up again in front of the Dallas net. It's been an area of activity. McDonald threw it out to center. Alexiak looking to engage the Dallas attack. The big rig dropped the shoulder, tucked it around behind. Horkoff, Ritchie's in front. Back of the net, Grossman turning into Horkoff. Joust for the puck with the sticks. McDonald moves it ahead. And the Flyers take the line. Giroux. Here's Voracek shooting, and a pad stop Lettinen.
2 good chances for Voracek on this shift already.
Koliakovo from the line firing. That's blocked.
Almost fell right to big Voracek.
Voracek sticks it back at the net. Goligoski finds it and whipped it past Luke Schenn. Under 2 minutes to play in the first period. Entertaining, good game here. Styles making the fight. 1-1. And Ronaldo at center ice. Spezza stepped away. Raffl moving in, down the wing, took it back to the net. He'll steer it out to the line. Luke Schenn, Carlo Koliakovo. Back of the goal for Ronaldo. He'll pivot out. Feed the line. Luke Schenn, a shot blocked by Alex Hemsky. Back out to Schenn. Firing it to Koliakovo. A drive blocked by Roussel. Hemsky over there to pester Koliakovo. A centering feed that goes to Roussel. He'll claws way past White. Get it to Spezza at center ice, who bounces it in on Mason.
That's good defensive zone coverage by the Stars. They stayed right in shot lanes on the 2-point men. Didn't give them anything for free.
Final minute of the first period. It's launched to Reed at center ice. Garbutt overskates the puck. Simmons knocks it down deftly. Shot it in, and Jokipaka back of the net. Reed's coming for the hit. Moves it along to Garbutt. Up ahead to the Flyer line. Caught by Couturier. Shot it in. Mason back of his net. Leaves for strike. Pass ahead off Reed at center. Simmons one-on-one against Alexiak and gets help from Garbutt. Is now in a puck battle in the corner. Reed scrapes it out to Streit at the line. Has to get over for the shot that Kari Lehtinen is able to absorb by Schultz as it came right back to him.
No shooting lane. He had to go off the end boards. Pekka Voracek right off the draw dances young Jokipaka and goes around the corner. I mean, it's tough. You got first-year guys. They're going to test you. Walks around, gets to the front of the net, and then late in it, hits the gas on his way in. Good pad save by Kari Lehtinen, who really steadied after giving up that early goal.
And Trevor Daley is back in Dallas. Jason Demers is here but has the flu. Cody Eakin also out tonight for Dallas. Streit plays it over. Here's Schultz with 10. Fired it. Blocked. Benn trying to keep Voracek away. Schenn found it, and then he's upended.
Looks like Bill Barber down there right now.
And there's the horn.
I think Braden Schenn got hit by some friendly fire from the point and then tried to get to the front of the net, tripped himself up. They're going at one another.
Brett Ritchie has the goal for Dallas. Stars on the road. Third game of a 5-game trip, all against the East. They split in Florida, and tonight they exchange first period goals. 1-1 for the Stars and the Flyers in Philly. More coming up next. An entertaining 20 minutes behind us. 1-1 for the Stars and the Philadelphia Flyers. And because Trevor Daley's hurt and Jason Demers has the flu, Razor, the Stars have gone with 4 first-year blue liners.
They're greener than a day-old banana on this decor here tonight in Philadelphia. Jokipaka, Klingberg, Alexiak, and Nemeth. And they've held well through 20 minutes tonight. Again, all of them have played at this level. Some coaches like to say after about game 50, you're not rookies anymore. You've been in the league. They've been up and down to Cedar Park this season, most of them. I thought they played well. All of them had a hand in some pretty good defending in that opening frame, from block shots to good gap to desperation reach. They're getting challenged in front of the net repeatedly. The Flyers are a team that likes to shoot from distance with players going to the front of the net. So they have to do some multitasking to either block shots or move people. The future's pretty bright on the Stars blue line. There might be, some ups and downs and some ebbs and flows right now, but it looks pretty good in about 2 or 3 years.
Oh, boy. And Jordy Benn, all 168 games and in the National Hockey League, is considered a veteran among this group. Alex Goligoski now the lead dog. Jordy partnered with Patrick Nemeth. Nemeth back for his 4th game after missing 57. Ritchie ties up White along the boards. Raffl sends it over, and McDonald, the defenseman, piercing deep on the play and into the corner. McKenzie came away with it with the puck, gave it to Ritchie, Dallas' first period goal scorer. McKenzie turned it over at the line. Raffl shoots it back in, wide of the Dallas net, so that's icing against the Flyers. Future does look bright indeed for the Dallas Stars, and tickets for the 2015-16 season are on sale now. Place a deposit to secure priority. Just $100 per seat will do it. You can come to our new season seat event at American Airlines Center on March 21st. 214-GO-STARS or DallasStars.com today. Get you started.
I love watching Jason Spezza on faceoffs. He moves people around, anticipates he's going to win it.
He won that one, and Roussel's shot went up very high on Grossman.
Hit him right in the face, I think. Big Nick just got himself back into the lineup. He missed the last 4 with an upper body injury. Talked to him this morning. Spezza, you watch him. He move people around. You get over there. You put Roussel right in behind him. Hemsky helps, moves him over one little skosh, and then boom, boom. Just like that. A tough block for the former Stars second rounder, Grossman. And he is a big lad, one of the nicest guys around. I kidded him this morning. I said, you'd love it in Dallas right now. It's getting more Swedish by the day.
Yes, yes. He's 30. Man. In come the Flyers. Shot from Koliakovo. Scorched wide. Voracek picks it up along the boards. To turn it back. Luke Schenn shot it over, and the shot from Koliakovo handled by Kari Lehtinen. Stars will bring it ahead. Spezza to Goligoski, now to Roussel. Roussel tried to pass it through. Luke Schenn went to one knee. They turn it over to Spezza. A drive and a save from Mason.
And the Flyers, they have turned the puck over, and they have left the zone early repeatedly here tonight.
Spezza gets help from Benn off the bench. Voracek able to skip that one across the Dallas line and accommodate the Philadelphia change. Penalty coming up against the Flyers. Jokipaka sends it over. Lettinen is on his way to the Dallas bench. Streit makes contact with the puck, and it happened, I think, in the melee in front of the Dallas bench.
Over to check the damage on Jamie Benn. It's a high sticking, at least minor, if not a double minor, if there's an injury. So the Shens have been all over this one tonight. By the way, they changed that goal back to Luke Schenn from Braden Schenn. Now it's time for the Benns to answer back. Look at that one. It was not much. That was as iffy borderline as the one on Sevier back in the first period.
Second power play for the Stars. They're coming off a 2-for-2 game in Florida. They've scored 6 power play goals in their last 10. And off the face-off win, it's Seguin. Klingberg had to hurry over to get it. Passing to Seguin. Spinning it back out to Klingberg. Now to Benn. Benn with Eves and Spezza in front. Shot it. Flicked off the top part of the stick by Mason. Spezza to Klingberg. Or Seguin. Back to Seguin. Down low to Spezza. Centered it. Eves was turned around, and Klingberg will pick it up again. Here's Spezza on the pass from Benn. Down to Seguin. Seguin wanted to shoot. Still wants to shoot. Didn't have a lane. Gave it to Klingberg. Back to Seguin. Now to Benn. Benn steadies the puck. Tried to go back to Seguin, and it's tipped out of the zone.
Well, it looked pretty, and it was fluid, but at some point you got to take it to the net, and the Stars were reluctant to do that.
Eves got a pass away that skipped off the boards, and that's an easy clear for Bellemare.
They measured them, but were just reluctant to pull a trigger.
Klingberg with the long toss ahead to Hemsky. He's tripped up inside the line by Luke Schenn.
They're calling it. Calling something. They didn't call a dive on that?
Or covering the puck maybe with his hand?
Well, he's got a microphone. Hopefully he uses it.
83 Dallas. 2 minutes to play the game. Cover the puck.
There you go. After he went down, he put his hand on the puck. So Hemsky, who took the day off before the game in Tampa Bay and didn't play very much in that game against the Bolts, puck down. There you go. Did he ever?
Got his money's worth.
Turns in, toe picks himself, and then has that momentary lapse in cerebral activity.
Do a little 4-on-4 here for 54 seconds. And Fiddler wins the draw. Bully and Couturier out of the circle. Jordy Benn, first period assist. It's it back from Goligoski, and he'll take the Philadelphia line. Weaving down the boards, accepting a check and putting it deep. Skipped out to Garbutt, firing, tip, loose in front. Fiddler couldn't get to the puck. Fiddler coming off his second 2-goal game of the season. He has 10. Thrice he's had 11 in a season, but never more than that. There's Vern. Goligoski. Interior to Garbutt. That one blocked by Luke Schenn. Garbutt tried to pick it out of the corner. Luke Schenn takes it away. Up ahead to Couturier with Reed at the Dallas line. Nemeth stalls the attack. Couturier carries on, waiting for help on the change. He'll spin it back to the line and out of the zone. Voracek with the hard turn. Flyers are on the power play. It's bumped out to the line. Koliakovo passes it off to Simmons. Giroux. Simmons went sliding down toward the front of the net. Koliakovo to Voracek. Back out to Giroux. Voracek a shot. That's blocked by Nemeth. Voracek tried to center it. He gave it away to Benn. And Benn one-on-one with Giroux at center. Benn 1-on-3. Benn finally had it hacked away by Giroux. Giroux's pass toward Voracek at center ice. Goligoski steps up. There goes Roussel. Trying to walk deep against Koliakovo. Hitting the corner. And Braden Schenn takes it away. Rink wide to Simmons. He has to tap it back. And the Stars have had the puck more than the Flyers here on this power play. Abbreviated one. And this one slapped down the ice off Mason. Colton Sevier going to rag out the final 5 seconds. Simmons loping through center ice. He'll backhand it over. Hemsky's on. So both teams 0 for 2 in the game on the power play in a 1-1 contest. 15 minutes left in the second period in Philadelphia. Spezza with a pass. Hemsky makes the catch with the skates, but then lost the puck. Belmar moves it ahead. LeCavalier taking the Dallas line, but they're offside. One too many moves.
Traversing that blue line. The North game is what they needed there, and everybody gets a reset after the back-to-back penalties on both sides. It feels like it's a game that's hurried a little bit. I think the Stars have been really good at what they excel at, which is using their pace to hound defensively and try to get going on offense. The one thing, Lindy Ruff continues to get this group to hustle and work, and most of the time outchance the opposing team. They just struggle to outscore them on a lot of nights.
McKenzie in there to throw ahead. Jokipaka down to challenge LeCavalier. Pivots away from Hemsky, only to lose it to Spezza. To Jokipaka at the line, passing to Spezza, shot it, and that's tipped up over the top of the net. Oleksiak meandering deep. McKenzie tried to bunt it out to Spezza. And back in the net, McKenzie throws a huge hit. It opens up for Hemsky and a save Mason. Puck loose in front. Flyers come away with it. McDonald. Belmar trying to go inside. LeCavalier's shot tipped out of play by Jokipaka.
There's an active shift for Belmar. One of the two true Frenchmen in the game. He got his essence disturbed in behind the net. Oh, McKenzie just waited on it. He was staring the puck into the ice, and blam, drills him in behind. They go 200 feet the other direction. He has it back. Looks like they're going to set something dangerous up. They call that a good stick. Jokipaka on the veteran LeCavalier to knife it up into the netting in behind Kari Lettinen.
Couturier dispatch. It's Reed to try Ben to Kari's left. Ben wins the faceoff. Flyers were dominant in the first period. They won 12 of 16 draws.
Well, one guy was anyway.
Yeah. Here's Sagan in front to Ben and to lance it out of midair. Eaves pushed it into the corner. Ben trying to shake the coverage. Nemeth shot it back of the net. Sagan in pursuit over there against Couturier. Ben strips it. Down to Sagan. Straight put it up the boards, right to Ben. And Ben found it, shot it, saved Mason Eaves, the backhander. Mason cleaning it up.
Just hounding them. Too much tenacity for the Flyers right now.
13:41 to play in the second period. Good one tonight at Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. The Stars and the Flyers are tied at 1.
Teams with near identical records, 1-1 here in Philadelphia early in the second period. John Klingberg, his 18 points on the season are just one shy, or since the All-Star break, pardon me, are just one shy of the league lead in defenseman scoring. That's our Ford leaderboard tonight. Look at the names on that list, too. Josi, who some people think should be a candidate for the Norris as best defenseman. Chris Letang in Pittsburgh, a wonderful two-way guy. Subban Karlsson. I think the Stars' resurgent power play has been part of that for Klingberg. And then just his flat-out brilliance and smarts and skill, a big portion of it as well.
Carries a 4-game point streak into this one tonight. 11 assists in his last 15 games. He went after it deep. It's flushed out to center ice.
It's weird. You don't even think, at least I don't, even think of him as a rookie anymore. He's played so well and played enough that you just think, no, he's on a different level.
Flyers have the puck. Grossman's back on the ice, too, for Philadelphia. Raffl shoots it over. And Lettinen, using the boards, banks it ahead to McKenzie, beating the Flyers' forecheck. McKenzie tossing it in deep. Koliakovo takes it back of his net.
Another second period where the Stars are dictating play and really dominating in a lot of areas. They've outshot the Flyers 6-1. It's just second periods are just terrific for them. Best in the league in the middle frame.
Nemeth, it's hit by White. Puck comes right back into his corner. Nemeth comes away with it. Pass ahead to McKenzie. McKenzie takes the line. Couldn't get it past Luke Schenn. Ronaldo coughed it up, but he gets help. And Giroux pitching it to the Dallas line.
That was the equation back in the first period where they schooled Schenn. The 2-on-1 down the wing, and Ritchie tied the hockey game.
Let's fire this around. Roussel got in there, so there's no icing. Leaving it for Spezza. Spezza out to Klingberg. Shooting it. Save Mason. Rebound loose. Roussel couldn't find the puck. Voracek Good pass ahead. It's a 2-on-1 for the Flyers. Braden Shen shot it. Lettinen got enough of it with the glove.
Windmill.
Now a centering feed alone for the backhander is Giroux, and Lettinen was there to challenge. Giroux, they look dangerous here. McDonald into the corner. Voracek back of the net. Threw it to the wall. McDonald takes it to the middle. Passes it over to Grossman, who held the line, barely. Braden Shen tied up by Klingberg. He came out of that corner with the puck, and Spezza clears.
A couple of sparkling stops by Kari Lettinen. The Stars did not have coverage with a forward on that pinch by Goligoski. Got him in a world of trouble.
Eves picks it off from LeCavalier, and in comes the Stars. Eves backhander. Mason kicked it right to Ben, but he couldn't find the puck. Alexiak dumps it into the far corner. 11:15 to play in the second period. Shot 17-16 Flyers. They had a 12-4 edge early. Stars right back in. Ben to Eves. Eves backhander and a save Mason. Belmar's over there. Eves goes clacking into him, but Belmar starts the Flyers attack. Pitching it ahead to the line, Jokipaka. Away from LeCavalier to the boards. Van de Velde shot it in deep. LeCavalier pestered by Sevier, but he works it to the line. Shot from Schultz, and it ricochets twice to the corner. Alexiak tried to kick it. Elmar put it back of the net. Jokipaka turns it forward. Stickless. Sevier can't get it out of the zone. Couturier off the Flyer bench. Got Jokipaka on his back. And Jyrki overtakes him. Passes to Alexiak, who struggled with the puck, but then shot it into Flyers ice. Luke Schenn knocked it in. Kari Lettinen off the wall. Luke Schenn will try it again. Jokipaka sending it forward. Spezza following up his own pass. Down to Fiddler. Shot it. Save Spezza. Rebound blocked off by Mason. And Nemeth found it. Centered it. And the shot from Fiddler is blocked. It's cleared in the Philadelphia zone. Midway through the game, the Stars and the Flyers are tied at 1.
Well, a good sequence of saves out of Kari Lettinen at a key juncture of this hockey game, right, Matt? Mid-game, smack dab in the middle. Stars had all three forwards deep behind the line. Got to have one guy up top. The Flyers sniff it out. I like the body language on Kari Lettinen before the 2-on-1 chance. Puffed himself a little bit. And his second one, a good blocker save on Giroux in tight.
Puck shot deep into the Philadelphia zone. Luke Schenn took the hit from Brett Ritchie. Puck sent all the way down. And icing, yes, barely against the Flyers.
It's been rough for Kari, but if you just look at his road games, you'd look at it and you say he's been very good. He's 14-5-2 on the road. The goals against average, that's 2.9. Save percentage, that's 911, which is decent. It's not outstanding, but it's decent. But the overall season has not been a good one. He's had games and he's had moments like this, though, where he's looked like himself.
Now he'll watch Seguin swing in front of him to pick up the puck. Here comes Tyler Seguin. Passed it over the line. Eves was tied up. And White pushing it ahead. Giroux with a little tip.
They do a lot of throwing pucks, like just tossing pucks. See if the Stars can expose them on some of that.
Klingberg snapped it to Ben.
That's not tossing it. That's crisp.
Bang on the tape. Ben going in there with Schultz. Mark Streit makes the big turn. And the pass ahead to LeCavalier at the line. Ricochets. Goligoski behind Roussel. It's icing against Dallas. Travelocity wants to send you to see the Stars play the Sharks in San Jose April 6th. 2 round-trip flights, 1 night's hotel stay, and 2 tickets to see the Stars take on the Sharks in the Shark Tank. Enter today at DallasStars.com/Travelocity. So LeCavalier and Spezza. Kari Lettinen's left. Cavalier wins it. McDonald fired it. Pad stop Lettinen. Rebound loose. LeCavalier went after the puck, but was punched to the corner. Hemsky takes the hit. Can't get it past Grossman, who fires. Knocked down in front. Klingberg going after the puck. And the high toss from John Klingberg ahead. Hemsky tried to run underneath it at the line, and he might have been just a whisker inside of it.
I believe he was. We'll stop things up in a game that has felt like it's two teams in similar territory that have had similar seasons, that have sort of tough near futures in front of them if they have any desires on making the postseason. I mean, you're almost into miracle territory just considering how many points and how good you have to be and how much help you need to have.
Stars 10 points out of a playoff spot. The Flyers are 7.
With teams to jump.
That's the big problem, because the teams you have to jump will play each other.
Somebody's getting points.
All right.
Every night in the NHL.
Yep.
It's the Keystone XL. It's the pipe dream.
Yeah. But 28 teams still, as this puck was launched into the stands, 28 teams are still eligible mathematically for the playoff. Stars and the Flyers both in that mix.
Well, and, when you watch it, they give you really no indication that they've just, folded their puck tent and moved along. And I think that's a special quality. You keep fighting and, play every game like it matters, because they still do until you're mathematically done. And even when you're mathematically done, I think you find meaning within every game at this level.
Ronaldo shooting this in. Fiddler will go after it and reverse it away from the pressure. Sevier tied up. Wants to slip it up the boards. Goligoski to Garbutt. Here come the Stars. Off the wall to Fiddler. And, boy, that was close.
It was, but it's the race to those hash marks, and they had it nailed on that one on the way down, so they'll bring it back out and retreat back down into the Stars, or toward the Stars end of things. They're going to run this in neutral ice on the... It's a tough spot to be in. You're missing some people and some key people. It'd be nice to get Travis Mullen back into the mix, too. He's inching closer. Seems like everybody's got people out right now, though. Wow.
Yeah, and some key guys out for long stretches. Don't disrupt your playoff bid. Spets out of his own zone. Finds Roussel. And Roussel had to turn back now. Klingberg. Reed will chase him.
Stars have had people back a lot tonight, though. When they've given up chances, it's been a big mistake up ice and then an odd man chance against, and a little bit of, throw darts from the blue line with people in front. Other than that, they've played extremely well.
Here's Hemsky taking the line. Hemsky to Goligoski. A shot just missed the net.
They've had some chance, too. Mason's played well.
Spezza ripped that through the slot, and it's angled ahead to Wayne Simmons. Simmons leads them with 26 goals this season. He's been really hot lately, too, as we talked about off the top.
Isn't that much in this game tonight, though? Really has not. Again, if you can't move as a group against this Stars team, they're going to close ice on you, and they've done that repeatedly throughout this contest tonight.
Mason back of his net, launching it. Jokipuk at center ice, passing to Eves. He'll knock it over. Mason settling it. Sagan forced a turnover. Benn into the slot, and that one's poked out of the zone. Here's a race for the puck. Oleksiak trying to use his reach, and Giroux centering feed stymied. Voracek's bid stopped by Kari Lehtinen.
That's 3 mammoth stops by Kari Lehtinen here in the second.
And a puck out at the Dallas bench.
Well, they gift this one to the Flyers up ice. Again, where they're getting themselves in trouble is in the attacking zone. Prior to all that, good work by Klingberg to work it out. Stars with some nice layering to their attack. Get a defenseman involved. That fourth guy to the attack. Again, off to the races. Oleksiak forces the elevated pass. Good work by him, and a great save by Kari Lehtinen on the business end.
Lehtinen has it back of the Dallas net. He'll whip it out, and Luke Schenn turned it over. Horkoff gave it to McKenzie. Passed it across the ice. Belmar across the Dallas line, and they're offside now with 5:57 to play in the second period. 1-1 for the Stars and the Flyers in Philadelphia at Wells Fargo Center.
Well, we came in talking about big Kari Lehtinen, and here we sit, late stages, second period, 1-1. He's never beaten these Philadelphia Flyers in 13 decisions against him, and he's been magnificent tonight. He gave up a goal, I think, on the first shot that he faced. He stopped 18 in a row since that. They've had some high-grade opportunities against him, too. His body language has been good. His bounce back has been terrific here. Again, he got yanked in the game in Florida at the beginning of this road trip. I don't know that he's been textbook clean with stuff, but you can see a ton of battle in him here tonight. Yeah, those are good numbers on the night. Anytime you're spitting it back at him at a 95% rate, you're doing your job and then some. And they've broken down. And again, when you have as much youth on the blue line in front of you, the other side's going to get chances. It's up to him to mop it up, and he's doing that tonight.
Brett Ritchie beats Bellemare at center ice in the face-off circle, and Bellemare will go back into his own zone, working it ahead. Goligoski, or Nemeth, pardon me, won't let Lecavalier in. Big jam up at center ice along the boards. Van de Velde shoots it deep. Jordy Ben places it back to his net. Horkoff in there quickly and turned it over. Lecavalier to the line from McDonald. Bellemare chased. Lecavalier trying to sneak out with the puck. Pivots, and then Jordy Ben blocked the pass. Lecavalier centers it. Van de Velde was tripped up, and McKenzie knocks it off the glass to Ritchie at center ice.
That's nice contesting at the front of the net by that D pair, though, of Ben and Nemeth. Need a hacksaw to get through those two.
McDonald shot it out to center. Jokipaka reinstalls. That's 19-19 in the game. 10-5 in the second period in favor of Dallas, but neither team has scored in the middle frame.
You think of the shots in the second period. Virtually all 5 shots the Flyers have had have been grade A scoring chances.
Yes. Ronaldo in there for a hit. Stars work away from it. Fiddler to the Philadelphia line. Tried to squeeze past. Garbutt will pick it up. Luke Schenn ties him up along the boards. And out come the Flyers ahead to the Dallas line. Raffl shoots it in deep. Oleksiak moves it to the boards. White is engaged by Jokipaka. Raffl goes down. Fiddler trying to extricate. Oleksiak shoving the pile and then going back for the puck. Jokipaka takes Ronaldo's hit. Garbutt also there to tie him up. And this one clanked all the way down the ice, but it's tipped, so there's no icing.
Well, it really feels like the top line for the Flyers, Giroux, Voracek, and Schenn, although they've had their chances and were on the ice when they scored, it feels like they haven't played that much in this game. It's been a lot of their depth lines.
Reed tried to attack against Klingberg, nothing doing. Roussel scampers away. Got it back from Spezza, gave it to Spezza. Firing, pad stop, rebound, Hemsky, swing and a miss in front. And out to center ice, where it's jockeyed loose by Reed. He'll fire it over the top of the Dallas net. Schultz from the boards to Reed. Trying to go back to Schultz. Eaves sends it out.
This looks like another 6-5 game. Just the goaltenders aren't participating in that. Both guys have been dynamite here in the second period.
3:10 remaining in the middle frame. Voracek on his horse to center ice. Sliding past Jordy Ben, only to find Nemeth and Jordy Ben. Nemeth takes the man, Jordy the puck, and he'll sling it out. This one accelerates, but right in on Mason, who plays it off to McDonald. That could be a problem. Ben going after the puck, centered it. It hits Mason, and the Flyers clear. Jordy back for the Stars. Voracek in looking for him. Slid it past. And now to Sagan. Over to Ben. Ben backed into Grossman. Giroux's pass to Voracek. In come the Flyers again. Voracek stops. Voracek shoots. Save Lehtinen.
Another odd man rush against, and there has been a boatload of those as we've moved along tonight, and Lehtinen has just repeatedly said, no, you don't. This is great transition by the Stars earlier with Spezza's line on the ice. Good support by Antoine Roussel right down there, and then they hit the gas. Red line the RPMs. Nice change, the point of attack, and drive. That's Roussel end-to-end. Drive in, and Steve Mason with a couple of dandy stops. Other end, committed Jokipaka against Voracek, and Kari Lehtinen to the rescue.
Puck squeaks away to Ritchie. The face-off in the Dallas zone. He'll pitch it in against Koliakovo, but Luke Shen there to back him up, and then he almost turns it over to Jokipaka.
They do that a lot. The Stars have given up odd man rushes, and the Flyers have turned pucks over in their own zone. It's been nuts.
Well, something for everybody. Jokipaka, stretch pass to McKenzie. Ritchie coming in there too. Koliakovo contesting Ritchie back of the net. Ritchie trying to get loose. McKenzie finding it. McKenzie, Ritchie wants it in front. McKenzie goes across. Klingberg waits, and a save, Mason.
Look where he was at.
Klingberg back of the net to Goligoski, and the puck was bouncing. Klingberg has it again. Here's Klingberg. Turning, shooting, that's blocked. Horkoff, back of the net, on his backhand, feeds it in front. Ritchie is robbed by Mason's pad.
This is pure purloining by the Philly netminder. These two wingers were marauding and overwhelming this pair on defense. Ritchie and McKenzie both. Tenacious and mortal battle for the puck. Koliakovo is no match for Ritchie, and Shen was no match for McKenzie. It's just, excuse me, we'd like to go to work. Mason, though, with an artful save on a point-blank chance for Klingberg, and then some in-tight stuff with the pillows. Good work. Nice pass by Horkoff. They are all over him. That line was terrific back, in the first period of the start of this road trip in Florida. They scored 2 goals there. They scored the only goal of the opening period here. So really, when they've been intact for the 2 games on this road trip, they provided all 3 of the Stars' first period goals.
Couturier beating Fiddler in the Dallas zone. Schultz struggling with the puck. He's cut off along the near wall. Simmons in check. Nemeth, Garbutt, Sevier, all there for the Stars. That's Garbutt. Threading through, and Simmons bumps it to the line. Held in by Jordy Ben. Couturier found it. Simmons trying to go. And Sevier caught him.
Well, they've been good with that. The forward back to help this defense has been there.
Simmons scoops it around the boards. Minute remaining in the second period.
And when they haven't been there, Kari's been there.
Nemeth staying with Simmons. Passing to McDonald. Loading, shooting, tipped wide. There's Reed in front. Fired it to the corner. Simmons lost it. Nemeth backhanding it out, and icing against Dallas with 34 seconds left in the second period. Hey, the second annual Black Diamond Alumni Game this Sunday, and the fun starts at 3:15 on the AT&T Plaza. I'll host a Q&A with 5 former players. You get autographs from NHL alumni. Bob Basson has set this thing up again. It's going to be awesome. See the Stars take on the Blues, then the alumni game following. Make plans to come early. See the fellas. Marty Brodeur is going to play in the game, but not goal, of course. Goalies never play goal in those games, right?
No. This goalie's playing pretty good here tonight, though. Gary, the best he's looked in a little while. Everybody up for the Flyers on this face-off.
Fiddler and Giroux. Fiddler to the corner. That's a big win. Jordy Ben to Patrick Nemeth. Up the wall. Roussel clacked it out of there, and no icing. Good exit. Stars get their change. McDonald will lug it ahead. 20 seconds left in the second period of a 1-1 game. Voracek. Penalty coming up on Spezza.
They were not going to call that, and there was like 3 steamboats before the arm went up.
They will, and Streit maybe rag this out till the end of the period. Mason staying in his net. Voracek as the horn sounds.
That was an active middle frame. Up and down. Both goaltenders tested severely, and both of them held the fort.
Stars all over them in many respects, out shooting the Flyers 16-7 in the second period. But nobody scored. It's still 1-1 through 2. Alex Goligoski joins Razor at the break. Generally, when we're here, our director, Mark Vittorio, goes and takes his picture with the Rocky Balboa statue. A huge fan of the Italian Stallion. 1-1 through 40 minutes. Patrick Nemeth back in the lineup, Razor. It's come full circle.
It has. This morning he was glancing over at the other side at the morning skates to have at least a look at Umberger, the man he was involved with back in October. Our AT&T Uverse Rewind. An ugly skate cut. Umberger's not dressed here tonight. Nemeth did not hear from him either after it. It was an accident. Lacerated his forearm, damaged some tendons. Out most of the season. He's come back. This is his 4th game at the NHL level since returning. You can see how the minutes have ramped up. And here tonight, he's going to exceed all of that. He's been terrific in the game. He's a play-ender. You know, a goalie's hero. He can stop people in their tracks and eliminate people from the play. Big, 230 pounds, tough to get around, puts his body in harm's way. The only guy to play more than him through 2 periods tonight for the Stars is John Klingberg. So he's finding his level right now.
Well, and Jason Spezza starts the 3rd period in the penalty box. It's the Flyers' 3rd power play of the game. Happened very late in the 2nd period, and the whistle did not go till the horn. So Philadelphia, they can really ding you up. They're 4th in the NHL. Wayne Simmons has 13 power play goals. That's among the league leaders. Giroux has 11. Voracek has 10. And they're all out here. Streit. Braden Shen hands it back. There's Voracek from Giroux to Simmons back of the net. Sliding it around the boards. Fresh sheet of ice for the Flyers. Big moment in a 1-1 game. Shot from Streit. Blocked in front by Roussel and cleared by Vern Fiddler.
Antoine's had a good game tonight, getting an opportunity to play with Jason Spezza. Gets in that shot lane, absorbs the puck.
Now Garbutt in there creating some havoc. Also trying to draw a call. Didn't get the call. Jamie Benn chasing Braden Shen up the ice. He released in time. Garbutt tried to pitch it in against Voracek, and there's Big Nemeth at center, firing it in. Tipped on goal. Mason makes the stop.
Hey, take it!
Not the start, I don't think, they were envisioning. Flyers with 45 left on the man advantage, and McDonald. The top unit comes off, and Couturier gives it away to Horkoff.
I read a statistic once about power plays on fresh sheets of ice at the beginning of a period, and it's no advantage. You're better off late in a period than you are early in one.
Why do you suppose?
Too much time thinking about it, and then you get out, and rather than just react and go in the flow of the game, you think too much. And the Stars have been all over him here and have completely asphyxiated this. My theory anyway.
Okay. It's a good theory. 5 seconds till the Stars get Spezza back, so it holds up here. Dallas 3 for 3 on the kill. Van de Velde brought it in but turns it over. Lettinen to Klingberg in the corner. Swept it up on this fast ice. Spezza trying to catch up to it. Koliakovo tames it at his own line.
Stars have only surrendered 4 shots on goal during the Flyer power plays in the game. That's pretty impressive.
Voracek lost it. Klingberg to Roussel. Off of his stick, Grossman moving it over. Luke Shen challenged by Patrick Eaves. Puck in the corner for Roussel. Sagan on the outskirts. Voracek put it into the middle. Here's Sagan. A shot saved. Mason rebound, and Roussel taken by Luke Shen to the net. Voracek put it out.
One of those defensive zone turnovers. Stars have not been able to turn it into much, obviously.
Awkward pass directed by Sagan to Garbutt, and they'll start again. Or by Eaves, pardon me. Here comes Sagan taking the line. Sagan jumping to his right. Sagan in front. And he had Nemeth breaking to the net, but that's intercepted. Ronaldo going the other way. Flying into the Dallas zone. Shot it wide. Eaves one-handing it ahead. Benn trying to catch up to it, and Streit stepped up to keep him away.
He was in full retreat and then turned around and said, I better just try on this thing. Steps up, breaks it up. All 3 Flyer forwards were trapped in behind the play.
Schultz shoots it in off Ronaldo. And Goligoski has it back of his net. White pursuing him. Pass ahead. Horkoff tried to find it at the line. McDonald turned it back into the Dallas zone. Here's Klingberg, head up. Snapped it ahead to Ritchie. Dallas's goal scorer in the game. Luke Shen has the goal for the Flyers. They struck first. Both goals came in the first period. Ritchie pivoting back of the net, dragging Braden Shen with him. Tried to work it off to Horkoff. It's intercepted in a rink-wide feed, and then cutting in is Giroux. Klingberg staying with him. Giroux is dumped, and Lettinen has the puck. There's no call.
Shades of Stamkos the other night who was looking for a call on a similar type play, and There wasn't one. He tries to split the D here with some speed, but if there was going to be anything on that, I would go with penalties to both sides, embellishment and a trip. Instead, they just let it move along. He's pretty tough to beat on the dot. Two of the best in the game going at it on this face-off.
Spezza wins it. Dallas fought back. They were way better in the second period in the face-off.
Almost looked like Giroux wanted him to win that one.
Voracek shot that in. Maybe he had a plan. Roussel to Hemsky and back again at center ice. Ales Hemsky digging in against Nick Grossman back of the net. Hemsky pushes him off the puck, then centers it. Goes to the circle. It's banked ahead, and Bradenshine kept away. Spezza went after it. Grossman gets the pass forward. Couturier taking the Dallas line. Simmons going after the puck in the corner that now is out of play. It went off the boards.
Stars have just one win in their last 13 visits here to Philadelphia. 6 losses and 6 ties. Lots of sister kissers in the city of brotherly love. The Flyers franchise owns the NHL record for ties in a season. They had 24 in 76 games way back in 69-70. I think there's going to be a change. I was talking with Jim Nill this morning. The general manager meetings are upcoming. Games now are decided 4-on-4 in overtime and then shootouts. I don't think we're going to see shootouts going forward. I really feel the general managers are going to adopt 3-on-3 overtime. They've ran it in the American Hockey League this season. They'll go 4-on-4, then 3-on-3. As long as the NHLPA plays along.
Right. Here's Sevier in on the attack. Shot it off the side of the net. Belmar lost it. Fiddler staying with the puck. Deep for Sevier. He's forced to the corner. Koliakovo has him in check. Garbutt cleaned out a little room. Fiddler threw it in front. That's off a skate back of the net for Garbutt. Belmar in trouble. He and Garbutt both go down. Sevier steps in after the loose puck. Swung it at the net. Saved Mason. Fiddler there to pick it away. Fiddler to the line. Oleksiak. And his pass through Fiddler's skates to Garbutt. Back of the net for Sevier. Fiddler is changing. Sevier has it back of the net. Sagan off the bench was driving the slot, and it's tipped away to Vandeveld at center ice. The Flyers need a change, and they'll get one here. So will the Stars. Jokipaka to Sagan. We'll let Ben go after it with Streit. Streit up the wall. Eaves cut it off. Gets through to Simmons. And the Flyers, Schultz up ahead, shoots it in. It bounces over Letton's stick. Comes back of the net. Centering feed to the line. Schultz down on one knee to keep it in. Simmons reaching for it. Pivoting away and leaving for Reed. Out to the line for Streit. No shooting lane. It's tipped loose in front and then knocked down, but picked up by Eaves. He'll come to center. Reed overtakes him. Klingberg with a pass to Sagan. He's into the zone. Sagan waits. Sagan can't shoot the puck. He'll leave it for Nemeth, and a pad save from Mason. Out to center ice. Ben knocked it back to Nemeth. He'll give it to Jordy. Tried to get a pass through. Now he picks it up off Bradenshine. Took it in. Shoots it in. Around the boards for Ritchie. Shot handled by McDonald and cleared. McKenzie will skate it down.
Games become safer. Lots on the outside of the dots now.
Ritchie shoots it in. Then goes after the hit on McDonald. And ultimately in pursuit of the puck. Nudged off to McDonald, pass to Voracek. Here comes Giroux to the Dallas line for Voracek. Dropped it. Giroux goes cutesy backhander, and that one blocked in front. Giroux out of the corner, tapped it over to Voracek. Out to the line, Luke Schenn shot it. That died in the pile off Alex Goligoski. Hemsky passing it to Klingberg. Straight up ahead to Roussel. And then Hemsky lost it in his skates. Flyers trying to rip it loose. They do, but right back to their goaltender, Mason. Slapped it weakly to Luke Schenn. White gave it to Raffl. Up to the Dallas line. He'll go in deep. Oleksiak has Ronaldo in front. Raffl twisted around the boards for Schultz. Oleksiak in the corner. Beat 2 Flyers, but it stays in at the line, and that one blocked by Jokipaka in front. Ronaldo hounding him. Roussel tips it on to Hemsky. He'll take the line and then shoot it. And Mason, the right-handed catching goaltender, knocked it down and then pounced. 8 minutes gone in the third period. The Stars and the Philadelphia Flyers are tied at 1.
Just a skosh of offense here in Philadelphia tonight. Flyers 1, Stars 1. As promised earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Show you the offense in the game. It'll be relatively easy. 53 combined shots. The first one for the Flyers, a wrist shot by Luke Schenn from the blue line. Gets deflected past Kari Lehtinen. He hasn't given up anything since. Stars got it tied in the second period. Nice transition. Jordie Benn, then the two buddies, McKenzie and Ritchie, team up. They school Luke Schenn, the goal scorer, down the left wing side. Nice goal scorer's goal in tight. And that's been it. So 2 goals, 53 combined shots, 25 or so block shots. And this is inching closer and closer to going past 60 minutes.
Seguin and Couturier. Seguin wins it to Jordie Benn. He shoots it. That ricochets right back out to him. Jordie passing over to Nemeth. Into the corner, Seguin. Centering feed blocked by Streit. He appears a bit hobbled by taking that shot. Flexing his left leg. Puck dispatched to the Dallas line, and Ben Jordie shoots it over to Patrick Nemeth.
Boy, this game's really getting pushed to the outside by both teams.
This one flipped over the line. Van de Velde, Couturier, and spit by Klingberg to the Philadelphia zone.
Safe is up the boards.
Jokipaka up the boards to the Philadelphia line. Grossman getting it back from McDonald. And Flyers get it in awkwardly. Van de Velde in the corner. LeCavalier pitching it back out to Grossman, shooting it. That's blocked in front. And out come the Stars. They got numbers at the Philadelphia line. Fiddler moving it in across the ice, and the shot from Sevier went over the top of the net. Sevier coming off a 2-assist game in Tampa and the shootout winner in Sunrise against the Panthers. Oleksiak, long reach, kept it in, but it's blocked in front by McDonald and cleared.
Well, the goalies put a show on in the second period, but it has just been massive herds of humanity in front of both nets here in the third. Everybody willing to commit to shot blocking.
Voracek fell, Klingberg twisting it out. Horkoff. And Feligoski cut down on the boards. Ritchie going in after the puck. Voracek forced by Klingberg. It went off of him and into the corner. Ritchie throwing a hit. Luke Schenn with the puck. Carlo Koliakovo. Long pass ahead to center ice. Voracek from Braden Schenn. He'll hop into the zone. Bumped off the puck by McKenzie. Luke Schenn, or Braden Schenn, over the top of the net. Giroux is looking for it. Braden Schenn was in check. And Luke will go back and pick it up.
That line's been really good for Lindy Ruff tonight. Horkoff in the middle of Ritchie and McKenzie. They've been physical, and they provided the only goal.
White digging in. Goligoski moves it quickly, and here comes Klingberg. They went after him there. Ronaldo did. Popped him really good.
Oh, it was grotesquely late. It's what he does.
Klingberg went right to the Dallas bench. Ronaldo over against the boards. Jordie Benn threw a shoulder at him. And now a big hit in the corner has a Star down again. It's Hemsky this time. And a penalty's coming, but, I mean, it's just...
Klingberg's just going down the tunnel now with Dave Zeiss, and he was in considerable pain. I mean, this puck was gone for a long time before Ronaldo went through him.
1-1 in Philly, middle of the second.
The Stars are going to get a power play here. It wasn't the hit by Ronaldo on Klingberg who has left the game. It's late. It's what he does. He gets suspended. He has before. He finishes high as he steamrolled through him. Klingberg got rid of it. And for a young guy that rarely gets hit like that, he got nailed. This was even creepier. Hemsky in the corner gets buttoned by White. Stars on the power play because of it.
Third power play of the game. Ronaldo has a 10-game suspension already on the ledger this season. Again, I mean,
well, the best thing you can do right now is score on this power play and win the hockey game.
Yep.
They ice it here, trying to matriculate up the ice in a hurry. Lindy Ruff checking on Klingberg probably right now to see what's going on. He would have been disgusted by that hit. Not just the individual that got nailed, but the individual who was the hammer on it.
Goligoski takes it back to the net. Again, the power play without Klingberg. Third power play of the game for Dallas. The drop to Spezza. He'll take it over with speed. Work it past Reed, who was flat-footed. Shot it around behind it. Hits the referee. Goes right to Luke Schenn, who clears. 1:20 remaining on the minor to White. And Goligoski again, dropping to Spezza. Spezza got it in, whacked away by Belmar into the corner. It's McDonald, took it back to the net, shot it up. Goligoski, nice keep at the line, very nice. Pitching it to Ben. Ben, Goligoski to Seguin, far boards. Seguin flipped it back out. Goligoski to Ben. Ben looking, shooting, pad stop. Eves trying to work it in. Eves shot it, and Mason gets a little help from Belmar to cover up.
Those long legs keep Patrick Eves at bay, who's been a killer on the power play for the Stars recently. Go back to that hit by Ronaldo. I mean, it's baffling how it's not a charging penalty. He comes off their bench and travels the entire distance across the ice and just fills in John Klingberg. If that's not charging, I don't know what charging is. I don't know.
That one went uncalled. The minor to White was called. Stars still on the power play for 40 seconds, but here come the Flyers shorthanded, and the shot goes over the top of the net.
Same thing we've seen in the game a little bit from the Stars power play, where they give up some odd man rushes against. That's the 6th in the game the Stars have given up.
Horkoff got the pass through to Ritchie. A shot. It's blocked. Horkoff rescuing. Passing it out on top to Jordy Ben. 15 left on the power play. Here's Hemsky from the half wall. Back out to Jordy Ben. Oleksiak standing in the far circle. He's got the puck. Dusting it off now. Shooting at pad stop Mason. Good shot. Good stop. Cleared by Couturier. And Dallas is 0 for 3. They don't make him pay. And now the puck lingering in the corner. Lettinen couldn't go get it. Flyers are back at full strength in the centering feed. Gobbled up by Seguin. He pushes it past Giroux. Here comes Seguin to the line. Stick handling, finds Eves for a shot wide of the net. Voracek tries to backhand it out of the zone and then follows his own clear. Ben seals him up at center ice. Braden Schenn deep in the zone in Dallas ice. Looking for Voracek, passed it off the side of the net. Nemeth cleaned it up. Sagan's stick is broken. He goes to the bench. Ben comes to center for the change. 6.5 to play in the third period of a 1-1 game here in Philadelphia. Ronaldo chipped it in. Oleksiak waiting for him in the corner. They shoulder. Oleksiak took the hit, goes back after him in front of the net. And then the puck is launched out of the zone. Sevier moving in. Sevier. Vern Fiddler cutting to the net. He scores! Vern Fiddler puts the Stars on top 2-1.
Well, number 38 only knows one way to go. No matter what the circumstances, he's smoking hot on this road trip. This is a terrific patient play by Sevier on the business end. Oleksiak handles the hit by Ronaldo. The Stars get out of danger in their own zone, and it's a speed play. Watch this play by Sevier, though. Waits, and then gets it to him with the net drive. They can't match the foot speed. Fiddler gets to the front of the net, gets his stick blade available, and puts it between the legs on Mason.
And so the Stars take the lead on Fiddler's 11th from Sevier and Garbutt. This one launched all the way down the ice. Ronaldo, a healthy -2 in the game.
I just love the compete level of Vern Fiddler. I documented it earlier. He was one of the guys, one of the sort of unsung individuals last year at this time when the Stars, won consistently in order to grab that last playoff spot in the Western Conference, and he's given it everything he's got here again this year. Fiddler from Sevier and Garbutt. The Gritty boys have been involved in this one tonight.
Now Hemsky found it, tapped it toward the net. Mason puts the clamps on it and sends us to our final break. 5:47 left in the third. Stars looking to protect the 2-1 lead here in Philadelphia against the reincarnated Broad Street Bullies.
Fern Fiddler with a go-ahead goal. His attitude and his hustle is consistent. He's a perfect example for young guys, especially in the scenario they're in right now. And as I alluded to, he's been so good lately and productive. Right place at the right time against the Islanders on home ice. Banks a wicked rebound off the end glass home. He scores a pair against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Beautiful deflection, and then still trying to describe how that one, when it was a power play goal off his skate, kicked in, and then this go-ahead goal here in the third period in Philly. The exuberance of Colton Sevier with the primary on that one. Sevier with 3 assists in the last 2 games for the Stars.
We've not seen Klingberg, nor do we have word. 5:47 left. Shots 37-23 Dallas, but it's just a one-shot game. Giroux beats Spezza. Philadelphia zone. Roussel trying to contain the puck. It's launched off Voracek to center. Jokipaka and Goligoski shoots it in. The Stars are down to 5 back there then.
As they were the last time they played the Flyers. They lost Nemeth in the game to that skate cut.
Hemsky, Goligoski whipped it just wide. Spezza, and they're keeping this top crew for Philadelphia in their own zone here. Pass too far for Braden Shen at center. Jokipaka goes rink wide to Eves. Took the hit from Grossman, got it to Ben in front. Couldn't quite thread it through to Sagan, who was busting toward the net. Simmons down the boards, firing up high over the top of the goal and out of the zone.
They've had 2 chances off the rush here in the third period. Both times they've done that. One was shorthanded, that one there. Try to go high, catch the glass.
Nemeth back around for Jordy Ben. Couturier giving chase, and this one shot almost at his head coach.
I think he hit him. Accidentally. The Ben brothers in this one against the Shen brothers. Isn't that always our spotlight when the Flyers and the Stars got together? Be the best brother duo in the game. Jamie hasn't hit the sheet yet. Jordy has. Instrumental in that first period goal with the transition up the ice. He's played well tonight.
Cavalier tied up with Fiddler. Flyers win the draw. Strike. Schultz shot it. Lettinen out. Got it. No problem.
Just look at this game. Kari's played great. I mean, he's come up with those saves when they've really needed them. And the game was on the line. Not that it isn't right now, but back in the second period when it was 1-1. But you look up, the Stars have outchanced another team, and they're out shooting the Flyers 37-24 in their home barn with a bunch of rookie defensemen and missing Cody Eakin. I mean, it says a lot about the Stars. It also says a lot about these Philadelphia Flyers.
Yes, it does. Again, it's Fiddler at the ready with Vincent Lecavalier, who goes forward with it. That bounced off Ben, Jordy Ben. Belmar firing again over the net. Schultz put it in deep. Vandevelde lost it. And Belmar's shot ricochets off Fiddler back into the Flyers zone with 4:20 to play in the third. Dallas getting changes. And Schultz goes across with it. Stridle walk it up the middle of the ice and then shoot it in. Lettinen stops it. Nemeth back to get it. Goligoski. Short pass a little too hot for Horkoff. Ritchie following up will take it over. Horkoff goes to the net. Ritchie is shot blocked and just out of his reach. Voracek turning back the other way. It's a down Flyer. It's Koliakovo, I think, in the Philadelphia zone. I didn't see what happened.
If there's an injured player, you can't go wrong to say that it's Carlo Koliakovo. Man, has he had injury problems in his career.
Flyers ice it here with 3.5 left in the third.
He's in some pain on the end of their bench right now. Shake that one off. Yet another blocked shot, and there have been plenty of those within the game here tonight. The Flyers scored 6 goals in that win in Dallas. It was a crazy back and forth overtime victory for them on the power play.
Spezza wins this faceoff. Jordy Benn threw it in front, and Roussel clanked it off the post.
Little panic on the back door there from Antoine. Got it away quick.
It's a lot of net to look at. Flyers bring it up. Luke Schenn shoots it around. Jason Spezza waiting for the puck, and then he lost it. Giroux firing upstairs again.
They can't hit the net.
Roussel over there. Giroux trying to stick handle out of the crowd, and Hemsky found it, tapped it to a safe spot.
Good little microcosm of the Stars' defending game tonight. 3 guys around that puck. They've been tenacious and in herds tonight.
Simmons from outside the Dallas line, wiring it around the boards. 2:45 left in the third. Seguin leaning on Couturier. Nemeth holding Reed at bay. Couturier trying to reach in for it. Stars are just fine with this tick, tick, tick. Seguin to Alexiak. Schultz well down on the play, and Alexiak got it out. There goes Ben charging. Simmons hacked him. He puts it into the middle for Eaves. A shot and a save. Mason right into the glove.
Wow. Streit, the defenseman, got into a spot where he was no help to anybody, and he gets backed up by his netminder. Prior to that, it was the back door on his netminder. Comes back door. In fairness to Antoine, it looked like it deflected, and it was up on end when he tried to cram this one home. He gets to an open spot. It comes through. I think it went off the stick of the goaltender Mason and over there, and he tried to rip it as quick as he could into that yawning net. Couldn't find Twine.
We've been told John Klingberg upper body will not return. Face off to Mason's right. Belmar takes it back of the net. Fiddler's chasing him up the ice. Sevier tried to cut him off. Van de Velde couldn't find the puck. Stars shoot it out. And McDonald. Pass ahead to LeCavalier. He lost it. Jokipaka clears it. Mason had started out. Puck rolling on edge. Scooped up by Voracek. Under 2 minutes to play. Voracek. Pass ahead. They're in, and there goes Mason. Braden Schenn takes it around behind. Extra attacker on for the Flyers. Empty net at the other end. Couturier goes to the front of the net. Stride shot blocked in front. Pinballs to the boards. Puck battle here. Ritchie has it locked up. So does Horkoff. Simmons trying to get it loose. Flyers do, but it hops Voracek's stick. 85 seconds left. Stars up 2-1. Voracek shoots it in. Lettinen stops it back of his net. Goligoski there to get it. Tight turn. Looks up ice. And he pitched it. It's knocked by Giroux out of the air. And yeah, they'll whistle that one down.
He had to jump to connect with that one, and got it obviously above his shoulders, above his head. And then he'll stop things up and start from a stop. We'll see if anybody wants to take a timeout. I would think Berube would for the Flyers and talk things over. He does, as they try to set up the tying goal here. His club does not and has not scored very much 5-on-5. You know, it's an issue for them. They're so reliant on the power play. They have 3 guys that have combined for, 34 power play goals. So the Stars do the job against their power play in the game here tonight, which they've done, and score enough, which right now they have done. And they've outplayed the Flyers in this building. Road trip continues on to Raleigh, and a date with the Hurricanes, 6 o'clock on Thursday on Fox Sports Southwest. And the ticket used to be the Holiday Classic back in the day. I guess we're pretty close to St. Patrick's Day. Maybe we could call it that again. So the Stars and the rebuilding Canes. A little business here in order to keep what has been a real good road trip rolling here. Longest road trip of the season for the Stars. They won in a shootout in the first one. Could have won in a 9-goal loss in Tampa Bay. And they got a little business here, and they can take a victory out of Philly for the first time in eons.
Seguin and Giroux outside the line. Seguin wins it. Goligoski will shoot it, and Streit will go pick it up. 1:10 left. Firing it in from center. Braden Shen, Alex Goligoski lock up. Nemeth knocked down back of the net. Voracek, it goes past him and out of the zone.
Twice has gotten past Voracek, a forward back at the point. That was a weird carom off the corner boards and out.
Voracek stretched out to find it at the Dallas line. Fiddler swept it to the line, not out. Streit putting it in deep. Simmons back of the net. It bounces, and now crammed to the front by Simmons, and Lettinen was down on all fours.
All he could do at the end of his stick, though, the man we featured before the game tonight, he scored 18, on home ice. That's 7 more than any other Flyer has scored in this building. He grabs this. He's very good at that. Sweeping move on the forehand. Kari Lettinen with the paddle down. Says, no, you don't.
39 seconds remaining. Giroux and Spezza.
Jason's going to get kicked out. He's pretty antsy.
Do the knee drop here, too.
I can't believe they haven't thrown a guy out yet. Good on the linesman. It was a big draw here.
They tie up. Spezza wins it. Nemeth worked it around. Voracek keeping it in deep. Back of the net. Spezza shoots it out and off the post and wide. And Roussel tried to win the race but could not, so it's icing against Dallas with 28 seconds left.
Well, they waited a long time to call that icing. Spezza, a very contentious face-off and very liberal. Look at how much, he was hogging the dot. He had his pelvis over top of the face-off dot when he ripped that away. A little more tricky on this side because the linesman is on that side of him.
Giroux won it back to Voracek. Passing it over to Streit. To Voracek. Shot it. Blocked in front. I think he hit his own man. Here's Giroux. Simmons standing right in front of Lettinen. Streit shot. Blocked. Garbutt got in the way. Another one fed to the front. Spezza tried to flip it out. Giroux knocks it down. Drops it off. Spezza diving. Loose in front. Backhanded by Braden Shen wide. They go to the boards for Voracek. He shoots it. Save Lettinen and the horn sounds.
Pretty gutty 2 points in Philadelphia tonight. The Big Finn bows up. First time he's ever beaten the Philadelphia Flyers. Always the toughest. Kari steps up and says, you do not beat me 14 times in a row.
Nobody
beats Kari Lettinen 14 times in a row.
No.
The hero offensively, Fiddler. Lots of heroes defensively as the Stars show some grit, outplay the Flyers, and beat them 2-1.
So the Dallas Stars are now 2 of 3 on this road trip, and they'll continue to stay in the East against Carolina and Washington tonight. They beat the Flyers 2-1. Tonight's game produced by Jason Walsh, directed by Mark Vittorio, the associate producers, John Sponsler, Doug Foster, and Cody Eastwood. For Daryl Ray and the rest of the fine crew here at Wells Fargo Center, I'm Ralph Strand. Just hang in there. The postgame show is coming up next.